it's Chef Kerry again here at Carry Out Foods. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk about some really simple stuff today. And when I was a young apprentice and guys would come in and they would say, Chef, I really want a job. I have experience and I think I'd be great here. Some of the chefs, they would make them do these practical interviews. So you have a regular interview, which is the talk. You have your resume and everybody's, nice, smiling on their best behavior. But the chef would always say, does he really know what he's talking about? Can he really or she really do what they say they can do? And so we did practical interviews. Now for line cooks, the practical interview, and I still do this to this day when I hire. If they're at a beginner level, like a prep cook level, they have to have had some experience, right? So what we would do is we would do two things. We would give them an onion. And this is a really great onion because it has all this nice papery skin on it. We want the papery skin. Papery skin tells you that it's a healthy, fresh onion. If it's all worn off and it's just the inner skin, that means that it's been sitting around too long. They've been sitting in refrigerator coolers for long periods of time. And onions have seasons, believe it or not. And so they pick them all, basically, at one time of the year, and then they put them in dry, cold storage. So this is a really good time for onions because we're in February right now while we're filming, and our onions are pretty darn fresh. You can tell by the way they are. What I'm doing is I'm putting on a cut glove on the hand that I'm not using my knife with, and then on the outside of my cut glove I'm putting a non-latex glove to protect my cut glove so that I don't stink up my cut glove. Then I put a regular non-latex glove, food grade glove on my hand that I'm going to use my knife with. Why am I doing that? Because I don't want my hands to stink all day and all night, right? And also it's just a cleanliness thing. All right, so I take my beautiful onions. Oh, and so what chef would do is he would say, here you go, here's an onion, dice it. Now, people think there's a million ways to dice onions. There's not. There is only one way to dice an onion in the world of the way French and Europeans think about onions. First of all, you have to have a knife that's extremely sharp. Always extremely sharp. So I'm going to just give it a little pass right here. Make sure that it's brutally sharp. I know this knife is like a razor. I could shave with it. Not that I shave, but I could shave with it if I wanted to. It's very sharp. And then I just pass it on a diamond steel. Those make it even ever more sharp. So this thing is like, it's beautiful. Don't come near me. All right, so there's only one way to dice an onion. Onions are very unique in the world of vegetables because there's a whole bunch of little compartments of juice growing up towards the tip from the root. So you want to make sure that you keep those little channels of juice intact as you cut your onion. Very important not to damage the onion so much by chopping it that you end up with all the juice on your cutting board and not in your onion. You want it to be in your onion, right? Okay, so these, and now if I start crying, don't blame me, it sometimes happens. Now here's the deal. When you're gonna dice an onion, so I've cut off the tip, here's another one, right? So I cut the tip part off, right? But I'm gonna leave the root intact. Why do I do that? Because the root is like your little friend, and your little friend is gonna hold your onion together for you, so you don't have to struggle to keep your onion together. So I pulled off a few of the little hairs off there. These are all just the root part. So I pulled that off so it's easier to deal with. And I have a receptacle over here where I'm putting my garbage, right? So whenever you prep anything, this is critical, anything, you always have 3 receptacles. You have something that the thing is going to go into when it's finished. You have something that's going to be the garbage that you can't use from the prep. So this is going to be the skins of the onion, right? And what else do you have? Well, in our case, in my world, we usually have composting bins. So I don't have that out right now. But in the meantime, we're gonna have a trash receptacle and receptacle for the finished product. Now, I got it to this point. What do I do next? I cut it in half, all right? So this is really important. I have a very sharp knife. I already said that. You can see, right? So if you look at the onion, I don't know how close you can get. If you look at the onion, you can see there's these chambers. They're layers inside the onion. So I want to keep those juicy parts intact. And an onion is like 92% liquid. So if you cut it in such a way that you cut it and you chop it, and chop, 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 you're gonna get all the juice on the cutting board and not in the onion anymore. Now, if this big knife makes you feel uncomfortable, then use a smaller knife. Use the knife that you feel comfortable with. I'm gonna remove the skin, and remember, I said I have a cut glove on. The purpose of that is to keep myself from getting hurt, and we don't wanna get hurt, right? So now, I just peeled off the outer skin of the onion, and that is gonna go into my bin over here. Now I can do a lot of things with that. We can talk about that another time, but the outer skins are really cool for certain things. They can darken up a stock if you're making a stock. You roast them up, you can use them for that. Okay, so I'm peeling off the outer skin and the paper part of my onion. And I'm being forceful, but I'm not being apparently forceful enough. There we go. So you want to go gently, carefully, slowly, just get her done. Don't do it in such a way that you hurt yourself. So now, I end up with the outer edge gone. You can see that, right? All right. Can everybody see that? The root is still intact. It's holding my onion together very graciously. Thank you very much. And the root on the other side is also still intact, even though you really can't see it so much because I got most of the brown part still on this side, but it's still there. It's holding it together for me, so even if I drop it, it'll stay intact. You don't chop onions, we dice onions. Chopping onions ruins them, as I was telling you about the problem with the interior of the onion. The juice, 92% of the onion, is the juice inside, the lifeblood of the onion. Okay, so now we're going to turn it over onto our flat surface. Okay? We're going to take our extremely razor sharp knife. And we're going to cut in. Let me show you. So from the heel of my knife, I'm going to drag the knife towards the tip. Everybody see that? Let's do it again. In the second spot up. Start at the heel and drag it up towards the tip. Then again. Start at the heel. Drag it up towards the tip. One more time. And towards the tip. But I'm not cutting through. I'm cutting in. Multi-layers, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers for this big onion. 5 layers. In. All right? Now I'm going to turn the onion so the root is pointing away from me. And I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go down. All right? You ready? So I hold it in place. It's already set. It's holding together because of the root still intact. It's being a generous gentleman, holding the root intact. So now I'm going to tuck my fingers in, and with the tip of my knife, I'm going to go down. But I'm not going on the other side. I'm not cutting it all the way out. I'm just cutting inside, and down. Okay, I went down all the way through, then I turn it back around so the root is pointing to my left. Following me? So we started off going in, turned it toward me, down, and then turned it sideways again. Ready? We go with the onion, you go in, down, turn it, and here we are. And we're gonna just go straight down with our very, very sharp knife. Straight down. You wanna hold your hand in such a way that you're not gonna cut yourself. Even though I have a cut glove, I still don't wanna cut at myself, right? In, down, and then we have the heel. You can save this and use it for stock, for soups, for whatever. But your perfect dice, let me show you. Your perfect dice is here. And you'll see, they're all the same size. Everybody's the same size. They're going to cook evenly. That's why we want them the same size. So when we go to throw them in the saute pan, we want everything to be pretty much the same. This is not perfect. I didn't do a perfect job, but hey, pretty darn good. This is a dice. What's a dice? What is a dice? In the world of chefs, a dice is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. That's a dice. So if you can see that, darn good. So instead of passing over and back and over and back and making yourself cry, by the way, have I cried? No. Why haven't I cried? I have a really sharp knife and I have really fresh onions, both. So even though I can sort of taste that onion smell in my mouth, it's not making me cry. So this is what we do. This is how we start so many dishes. So many things we make have onions. And now you know. Now you know where to start. And that is how you dice an onion. So I'm using my gloves to just get all of that into my bowl. And there they are. Perfect dice. 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. So that is the way that you cut an onion in a French kitchen. There's only one way. And I'm glad I explained it to you. I hope you get it. Practice. Make sure you wear a cut glove. You can order them on Amazon or pretty much anywhere. Go to a restaurant supply store. You don't want to cut your fingers for the sake of an onion. So be careful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And then click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you'll be informed every time we have a new video upload. Join the Carry Out Foods family. Thanks, my friends. See you again soon.